Whenever there are events wherein Kim Dokja's life is at stake, which happens quite often, his teammates automatically position themselves to protect him. The fastest person to act on that is Jung Hee-won. And if ever she is far away, she dashes to his location and threatens anyone who try to lay a finger on him. She has a really fierce look when glaring and growling at the enemies who try to harm the VIP. She doesn't enjoy committing murder, but she won't hesitate to kill if they will pose a threat to her most important person. No one is an exception. So, when the almighty protagonist pointed his sword at Dokja, she immediately gets angry and already has her hand on her sword. In fact, so far, she's the only one among Dokja's allies who has given a mean look towards Jung-hyuk. She's also the only one, aside from Dokja, who calls him names, talks back, and is badly itching to land a hit on him. She doesn't care about Jung-hyuk being much stronger than her, even if he had already defeated her in the past. She is that fearless. Anyway, since she has been protecting Dokja and has been murderous to those who try to take his life, it's not difficult to see her as his personal bodyguard, right? He wants the bodyguard, while Dokja's the boss who needs protection 24/7. Of course, the rest of the team do guard and protect him as well. They are all very concerned about his well-being and constantly worry about him. But among his current companions, Hee-won seems to be the one who feels the most stressed whenever Dokja is in danger. There are moments when Dokja gets so distracted that he forgets that he is still in a dangerous situation. It is Hee-won who we often see that quickly comes to his rescue. She also does her duty even on peaceful moments. For instance, she is usually the one who is on watch whenever Dokja is asleep. And if she's the one who was resting, she wakes up at the moment when Dokja is about to go somewhere on his own. It's like she has this detector or sixth sense which alerts her when Dokja is about to leave her radar. Of course, when they get separated, she worries about him over herself. Dokja's like a trouble magnet, after all. She can't help but worry about him. Hee-won has this expression whenever she fails to protect Dokja. She doesn't really cry easily, but seeing Dokja in danger can make her very emotional. We can see how much she values him on her relieved look whenever he regains consciousness, or when she finds out that he's alive. But a highly stressed Hee-won lets out her frustration by hitting Dokja, who is usually the cause of that stress in the first place. Dokja always suffers from the pain of Hee-won's wrath. Hee-won doesn't only physically torture him. She loves teasing him as well. It can be as simple as teasing him for being a scaredy cat or making fun of his looks. She jokes around on every opportunity she gets, even on as early as the moment he wakes up. One of my favorites is when she slowly inched away from him in fear of being killed by him for knowing too much. She sure watches too many movies. Sometimes, Dokja even plays along with her jokes. That makes teasing him even more enjoyable. But even if she acts that way towards Dokja, she's not really rude to him. Hee-won and Dokja are actually polite towards each other. In the Korean version, they address each other with the "she" suffix. Moreover, although Hee-won has been teasing Dokja as she role-plays as his servant when he got the king title in a scenario, she still respects him. Like Hyun Sung, she also perceives his favors as commands. We often see her asking Dokja about the plan. When she asks him what to do, it's pretty much like asking for his instructions or command. Sometimes, she even asks his permission before doing stuff. With that, she literally serves as a pawn to whatever Dokja's planning. You know, it's like she is his chess piece. She is someone whom Dokja can control. In fact, to Dokja, Hee-won is a character whom he personally raised. She's sort of his original character on a TWSA fan work. So, as a character he had found and took care of, and as someone he didn't borrow from Jung-hyuk, that makes her pretty special to him. Putting aside Jung-hyuk, Hee-won is the first person to whom Dokja reveals about his knowledge of the future. He must have done that in order to gain her trust. She initially had trust issues with him because of the crazy stuff he does after all. And aside from Jung-hyuk, once again, she's also the only one whom he directly asked to formally become his companion. Well, at least on screen. And this is probably because she's the most significant person that he wants to retain by his side. I think he got a little worried when he suspected Jung-hyuk to have shown interest in Hee-won's potential. Since Hee-won is somewhat like someone he owns, he feels responsible for her growth and well-being. Other than parent and child relationship, it's also quite similar to how a good boss treats his employees. He even felt sorry when he failed to give her proper equipment, and he prohibits her from fighting or working when she's not feeling well. He doesn't give the role of carrying an unconscious Hee-won solely to Hyun Sung. They share the load and take turns. And when he had to leave her behind for something more urgent, he asks someone to look after Hee-won for his sake. For his sake. So it means taking care of his people is doing him a favor. Same with Dokja. Hee-won feels very responsible for his safety. Her protectiveness towards him started after he saved her life. She had been so grateful to him that thanking him once didn't feel enough. Just saying thanks didn't suffice for her either. So, she tries to show more of her gratitude by giving him stuff, like coins, like her life. Saving his life once could have been enough to repay her debt, but she continues to risk her life for his sake. She has become so devoted to him that she not only does bodyguard stuff, she also tries to assist him even on little things. She cares about him a lot. After all, she's nothing if it wasn't for him. Literally, like what Dokja had said, she's a character in the novel who didn't make it far on any of Jung-hyuk's regressions. He gave her the opportunity to exist. Dokja didn't save her life just because she had potential. We know he would have done the same even if she turned out to be the helpless type. Besides, when they first met, he knew nothing about her. She also looked so frail to him. To his surprise, she's tougher than she looks. Shockingly tougher than what he expected. She turned out to be a very skilled fighter. In fact, she is currently his strongest killing machine. He knows he can count on her when he needs someone to take care of pests. She's like his sword, a weapon used to cut enemies. But because of her incredible power, sometimes Dokja's more worried about the people who have to confront her. He knows Hee-won can easily kill, more so if they're small fry. There had been times when Hee-won acts a little stubborn. He actually got mad at her when she disobeyed him. When he scolded her in this scene, I don't think it's part of his role play. Good thing Hee-won is the type who quickly behaves. Hee-won may have been very strong physically, but she is among the weakest when it comes to mental strength. Dokja is aware of that, so he gave her this relic. Of course, Hee-won is very grateful towards him when he gives her goodies. It's cute that she doesn't hold back from saying she's jealous when other people get goodies before she does. By the way, although she is not academically gifted like Sang-ah, she's not the type who is easy to fool either. Even if long texts make her overwhelmed, she gets the gist of it. Sometimes, she's able to figure out what Dokja is scheming and will correct those who might get in the way of the plan. She's also innovative enough to think outside the box. Dokja may be the omniscient reader, but Hee-won's creative ideas had saved him from a lot of trouble. She can also fill in on the things where he lacks. It's like they complement each other. Their relationship can be interpreted in plenty of ways. But for me, like what I had mentioned around the beginning of the video, Hee-won is the frightening bodyguard of Boss Dokja. Because of Hee-won's undying loyalty towards Dokja, considering Dokja as Hee-won's king seemed to fit more. But since they normally act casual towards one another, Dokja being a boss seems to suit him better. I have another reason, but I'm worried it might be too spoilery. Anyway, there are more moments between the two in the later chapters, of course. Dokja also has many moments with the other characters. I've been trying to create a video for each. So, if you want more videos like this, I would appreciate likes, shares, and comments. Thanks!